6 months after teen's motorcycle crash, driver not charged, mother questions delay. Guyana Times reports. 6 months after a quarantine teenager tragically passed away due to a motorcycle accident, his mother is raising concerns about the apparent delays in the justice process. Deceased, Jainarine Rampersad. On October 27, 2024, 18-year-old Jainarine Rampersad from Anchorville, Port Mourant, was riding a motorcycle with 15-year-old Stefan Verapen as the pillion rider when they were allegedly struck by a car. The car's driver claimed that the teenagers hit the back of his vehicle and rode away. He also stated that he chased them into the village and eventually caught up with them. Residents of Hampshire Village reported hearing the impact and, upon investigation, found the motorcycle on the parapet with both teenagers lying unconscious nearby. Villagers recounted that the driver, armed with a cutlass, claimed he was driving along the quarantine highway when the motorcycle collided with his car, damaging the rear lights. Following the crash, both teenagers were taken to Port Mourant Hospital and later transferred to New Amsterdam Public Hospital. Jainarine was subsequently moved to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation (GPHC), where he succumbed to his injuries 12 days later. Initially, the police arrested the driver of the car but later released him on station bail. After Jainarine's death, he was rearrested but released again after 72 hours. Jainarine's mother, 47-year-old Damity Rampersad, has expressed her anguish over the lack of progress in the case. She has experienced sleepless nights, stating that the information she receives differs from what the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, has communicated. I called the traffic police in charge of the case, and he told me that the paperwork had gone to the DPP and never came back. I've visited the DPP multiple times, in January, February, and March, and still have no updates on my son's case. I don't know what is happening. Everyone else who died after my son seems to have had their cases processed, but nothing for him, she said. Damity also raised concerns about a police report indicating that a breathalyzer test conducted on the driver showed no alcohol present. However, the driver was recorded at the scene admitting to consuming 2 beers. I want to know why the police can't charge him, she questioned. The Guyana Police Force's regional commander, Shivprasad Bacchus, has stated that the matter is still under active investigation. Teacher jailed for nightclub assault. Wakapa man remanded for attempted murder. Guyana Times report. A 21-year-old teacher from Pomona, Essequibo Coast, has been sentenced to 1 month in prison after being found guilty of assaulting a speedboat captain during an altercation at a local nightclub. Andrew White, of Lot 25 Pomona, was charged with assault causing actual bodily harm to 24-year-old Arnold Adams, a speedboat captain residing at Lot 255 Good Hope, Essequibo Coast. The incident occurred last Sunday at the Elite nightclub, and the charge was laid under Section 30A of the Summary Jurisdiction Offences Act, Chapter 802. White appeared at the Suddy Magistrates Court on Tuesday before Magistrate Tamika Clark, where he was found guilty of the offense and subsequently sentenced to 1 month in prison. In a separate case, Vanden Daniels, a 32-year-old porkknocker from Wakapa, Lower Pomeroon River, has been charged with attempted murder. The charge, laid under Section 103C of the Criminal Law Offences Act, Chapter 801, alleges that Daniels attempted to murder 25-year-old David Gunputh, a fellow Wakapa resident. The incident occurred on April 22 in Wakapa Village. Daniels appeared before Magistrate Tamika Clark on Friday at the Suddy Magistrates Court. Due to the indictable nature of the charge, he was not required to enter a plea initially. However, the prosecutor applied under the Administration of Justice Act, which was granted, and the charge was reread. Daniels entered a not guilty plea. The prosecution objected to bail, and the magistrate ordered that Daniels be remanded to prison. The case has been adjourned to May 19, 2025, for the disclosure of statements. Venezuelan, Guyanese laborers remanded on break and enter larceny charges. Guyana Times report. 2 men were remanded to prison this week on charges related to theft, following separate court appearances at the Suddy Magistrates Court on the Essequibo Coast. In the first case, 18-year-old Venezuelan national Alejandro Ebiria, a laborer from Windsor Castle, Essequibo Coast, was charged with break and enter and larceny. The charge stems from an alleged break-in and theft against Thershini Suku. Aberia appeared before Magistrate Tamika Clark on Thursday, where the charge was read to him. As the offense is indictable, he was not required to enter a plea. Prosecutors objected to bail, and the magistrate denied his pretrial release. Aberia was remanded to prison, and the matter was adjourned to May 6 for a report. In a separate incident, 57-year-old Michael Stepney, a Guyanese laborer from Lot 3, Reliance, Essequibo Coast, appeared before the same magistrate on Tuesday on a charge of simple larceny. Stepney is accused of stealing from 58-year-old Surajlal Diawadi, also known as Lalu, of Lot 2, Mainstay, Essequibo Coast. The alleged offense took place on Sunday at Tipsy Bar in Land of Plenty, Essequibo Coast. The charge was laid under Section 164 of the Criminal Law, Offences, Act, Chapter 801. Initially, Stepney was not required to plead to the indictable charge. However, following an application by the prosecutor for the matter to proceed under the Administration of Justice Act, the court granted approval and the charge was reread. Stepney then pleaded not guilty. The prosecution objected to bail, and Magistrate Clark remanded Stepney to prison. The case has been adjourned to May 14, 2025, for the disclosure of statements. Both matters remain under investigation as the court awaits further submissions from the prosecution. TNT to seek gas development opportunities with Guyana, PM Kamla Persad-Bissessar. iNews Guyana reports. In a significant move, newly sworn in Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has announced plans to explore gas development opportunities in collaboration with Guyana. This announcement came shortly after her cabinet's swearing-in ceremony, where she emphasized the importance of energy as a cornerstone of the nation's economy. PM Persad-Bissessar has tasked the newly appointed Minister of Energy, Dr. Rudal Munalal, with investigating potential partnerships with Guyana to secure gas supplies for Trinidad and Tobago. We have one of the oldest oil industries in the world, providing us a competitive advantage, she stated, urging her administration to explore offers from Guyana and neighboring Suriname. The Prime Minister's comments came amid a broader strategy to diversify Trinidad and Tobago's economy, which has faced challenges under previous administrations. She highlighted the need for a strategic and inclusive approach to rebuild the economy, enhance security, and renew public confidence. This initiative follows the previous government's controversial agreement with Venezuela to develop the Dragon gas field, which has recently been halted by U.S. sanctions. In contrast, Guyana and Suriname are actively pursuing regional collaboration to develop their natural gas resources, with Guyana moving forward on its gas-to-energy project. As Trinidad and Tobago seeks to strengthen its energy security, the focus will be on leveraging regional partnerships to ensure sustainable economic growth. Merid probing boat fires at Parika and Fairfield. Guyana Times reports. The Maritime Administration Department, Merid, is investigating two recent boat fires in Guyana, one at Parika and another at Fairfield on the Essequibo coast. These incidents have raised concerns among local authorities and the community. The fire at Parika, which occurred earlier this week, resulted in the destruction of several boats and heavy-duty equipment. Public Works Minister Juan Edgehill confirmed on Friday that Merid is actively looking into the circumstances surrounding this blaze. Reports indicate that a fuel boat docked near the Parika coker at Salem caught fire, igniting nearby vessels and equipment. As of now, there has been no official statement regarding the cause of the fire. In a separate incident on Thursday afternoon around 3:30 p.m., a rice boat docked at Fairfield Wharf caught fire. Eyewitnesses suggest that the fire may have originated in the kitchen area of the boat. Preliminary reports indicate that a stove may have been left unattended, leading to overheating or a flare-up. A nearby resident mentioned that the vessel's cook, who was allegedly under the influence of alcohol, may have fallen asleep with a pot left on the stove. Fortunately, the cook escaped unharmed, and all items on board were successfully offloaded. Efforts to contact merit officials for updates on the investigations have been unsuccessful, and the Guyana Fire Service has yet to issue a statement regarding these incidents. Public Works Minister threatens contract termination over work delays in Victoria Village. Guyana Times reports. Infrastructure works totaling over $440 million in Victoria on the east coast of Demerara, ECD, are under sharp review due to significant delays in progress. During a site visit on Friday, Minister of Public Works, Honourable Bishop Wan Edgehill, expressed deep concern regarding the slow advancement of contracts awarded since September 2024. With project timelines long surpassed, the minister has ordered that all responsible contractors appear before the ministry on Tuesday. He stated that decisive action will be taken, which may include contract terminations and other penalties. To ensure the residents of Victoria are not left waiting any longer, Minister Edgehill announced that outstanding works will be reassigned to qualified contractors from Victoria or nearby areas, utilizing the ministry's fixed-rate system. The warning came as Minister Edgehill inspected several projects along the ECD, accompanied by a technical team from the Ministry of Public Works. These visits are part of the ministry's efforts to ensure the timely delivery of the government's commitments and to improve infrastructure for communities across the country. Significant demand recorded for HPV vaccines since 2017, Health Ministry. Guyana Times reports. The Health Ministry of Guyana has reported a significant increase in demand for the human papillomavirus, HPV, vaccine since its reintroduction in 2017. This rise reflects a growing awareness among parents nationwide, who are increasingly seeking vaccination for their children in alignment with national public health goals. Onika Scott, Maternal and Child Health Officer and Immunization Manager at the Health Ministry, discussed this trend during an appearance on the Health Matters program. We are observing a different growth pattern compared to when we first reintroduced the vaccine in 2017, Scott noted. There is a notable demand from a subset of the population, particularly parents of children in private schools, as well as from health workers seeking the vaccine for older adolescent boys and girls. The increased uptake is attributed to targeted interventions and awareness campaigns led by the ministry. Our primary target group is children up to 16 years old, but we also extend vaccination opportunities to individuals aged 16 to 45. We hold off on administering the HPV vaccine during pregnancy, focusing mainly on our core target group, she explained. Scott highlighted that the vaccine is available at any health center across Guyana, with some private institutions offering it free of charge to eligible individuals. The ministry is also conducting outreach efforts throughout the country. Despite the encouraging rise in demand, Scott emphasized the need for improved public education regarding HPV. She pointed out that pervasive myths, particularly those originating from North America, such as claims linking the vaccine to infertility, continue to circulate in Guyanese society, even though these myths have been debunked elsewhere. We spend a lot of time on damage control and public education, she stated. Additionally, Scott expressed concern about maintaining an adequate supply of the vaccine, as the procurement process can take several months. Our current fear is ensuring we have enough vaccines to meet the demand. The HPV vaccine has a longer procurement timeline compared to most other vaccines, approximately 3 months from order to arrival in Guyana, she noted. As part of its ongoing national HPV vaccination effort, the ministry plans to begin administering the vaccine starting at age 9, targeting primary school children while maintaining focus on individuals up to 16 years old, with extended eligibility for those aged 16 to 45. Message from Gary Bess. I would like to share my picture so everyone can see it. I just got off work and really need some help. On my way home with my brother-in-law, I was riding my bicycle. I got shot in the face. Now I can't see with one eye. I don't participate in protests. I am a carpenter and have never been involved with the police. I love my work and have a family of 3 to support. I am feeling stressed about how to maintain for them. Please contact me at 6509079 if you can help. Thank you.